Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So time is running out for Ole Gunnar Solsjkaers transfers. The transfer window shuts on Monday and it is now Friday. And we have only made one signing, and that was Donny van de Beek. And definitely the board are to blame for our lack of transfer activity in this summer transfer window. And Solskjaer has revealed quite a few times that he has been very infuriated with the board. But we've been critical of the board anyway for several years, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. You know, the managers that we've had since Ferguson retired haven't been backed enough. And I think up until this point, Solskjaer's not been backed enough as Manchester United manager, and I think he does deserve more backing. We've also overpaid for players in recent years. So there's been a lot of Manchester United fans demanding the board out. Now, like I said, we have got to make at least a couple of more signings before this transfer window shuts. Now, there is a lot of players on our agenda. Now, you know the news on Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho believes his move to Manchester United will happen before Monday's deadline. He's trying to force a move to Manchester United. But there's quite a lot of Manchester United fans now that think Sancho's move to Manchester United is unlikely. Now, if we don't sign Sancho in this summer transfer window, we may never sign him, or he'll probably cost more next summer, because Dortmund now want £108 million. And throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block, because we've not been determined to meet what they're demanding. I think £108 million is too much. Now, we've already had 2 offers turned down for him. He said from Sky Sports a couple of days ago that we'd submitted a £91.3 million bid, but this had been turned down. So we offered 73 million up front with 18 million in add-ons. But if this had been accepted, you know, Sancho would have been our most expensive signing, and he'd have been the most expensive English player in history. Now, I heard that Sancho has agreed personal terms with Man United, and he's agreed a 5-year contract with a club worth 340 grand a week. Now, Sancho recently skipped Borussia Dortmund training. He was also withdrawn from Borussia Dortmund's squad for their game against Bayern Munich recently in the German Super Cup. Now, Sebastian Kehl, Borussia Dortmund's head of football, he said the other week that Sancho's staying at Dortmund and he won't be leaving, and he won't be joining Manchester United in a cut price deal. No, Lucien Favre, their boss, he said the same thing. Michael Zorg, their sporting director, he also said that Sancho will be staying at Borussia Dortmund and the decision is final. Solskjaer has held quite a lot of conversations with Sancho, and I heard that Sancho's told Solskjaer that he wants to come to the football club. But Solskjaer's been very infuriated with this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, because it has gone on now for a while. I think we've been in for him for like the last 3 years. He's obviously our number 1 priority target. Now, back in August, Borussia Dortmund had set a deadline. They said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho decided to go out on pre-season. Now, at that point, Sancho to Manchester United looked dead in the water, and it had also mentioned we'd abandoned our chase for the player until next summer. But one thing we've confirmed, we are not giving up on the signing of the player. And I've already outlined the reasons why I want Manchester United to sign Sancho. We know that if we do sign him, he will be our next number 7. Because obviously, full number 7 well, and we've got number 7 vacant at the moment. You know, Sancho, since his arrival in Germany, he has been a revelation. He has enjoyed around 3 years with Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. He enjoyed a couple of years at Man City, but the main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. You know, Sancho still got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. But we have been looking at a lot of alternatives to him recently, haven't we? Because he's cheaper solutions than Sancho. Now, want to delve into some news on Ousmane Dembele. Now, according to recent reports, Man United will have to pay his full £215,000 a week wage to get him on loan. Now, Ousmane Dembele is one of the alternatives we are looking at to Sancho. I think a lot of Manchester United fans would take Ousmane Dembele in. The only element of concern about Ousmane Dembele is that he's injury prone. Now, Sky Sports recently said that we were in advanced talks to sign Ousmane Dembele. He recently said that Ousmane Dembele is open to joining Manchester United because he has doubts over his Barcelona future. It probably will cost us in the region of around £50 million. Ousmane Dembele has been at Barcelona now for over 3 years, is it? Made around 75 appearances in all competitions. Still got a contract with Barcelona till 2022. Don't forget Barcelona got him in a deal worth £135 million from Dortmund back in 2017. Barca paid 90 odd million up front, and there was like 40 million in add-ons. Barcelona have sold a couple of their players, haven't they? Not so long ago, you know, they let Luis Suarez go to Atletico Madrid, was it? And also they let Arturo Vidal go. They're obviously looking to offload Coutinho. There's been rumours of obviously, you know, Antonio Griezmann leaving them. Yeah, but Ousmane Dembele was good at Borussia Dortmund, like I mentioned before. Before he was at Borussia Dortmund, he was at Rennes, and he is the age of 23. He can play on the left wing, and he can also play on the right wing, and he can play as a striker. Fabrizio Romano did recently reveal that he'd said no to a loan move to Liverpool because Liverpool inquired about getting him, don't forget. I think he said no to a permanent move to Juventus last year. Barcelona are looking to offload him anyway so they can get Memphis Depay on the board. Luka Jovic, I'm going to fully disregard him now coming to Manchester United because Real Madrid have confirmed that they will not be selling Luka Jovic. Real Madrid did pay around 55 million for Luka Jovic last year from Frankfurt. We probably wouldn't have got him anyway. I think his agent mentioned that he was open to joining Manchester United on loan, of course. You know, Ismail Assar, you know, he's been another player on our agenda, and I think he's another alternative to Sancho. Again, cheaper solution than Sancho. I think Watford do want around £40 million for Ismail Assar. He's obviously got that experience behind him now in the Premier League. I think he's been in the Premier League like a year. Watford did get him last year from Rennes for around £30 million. He has got a contract with Watford until 2024. I think also Borussia Dortmund have been in for him, so maybe they're seeing him as a replacement for Sancho if Sancho is to leave them. So would you take Ismail Assar at Manchester United? You know, Liverpool have recently been in for him. Douglas Costa, he's another alternative we've been looking at. Again, cheaper solution than Sancho. Ivan Perisic, he's another alternative we've been looking at. We've looked at Rabbi Matondo before from Schalke a few weeks ago. We inquired about getting David Brooks on the board. So, there you go. Amad Traore from Atlanta. It mentions that Manchester United are also trying to sign him. Alex Telles. We've also been trying to get him on the board. I think it mentioned the recent bid we had put in for Alex Telles. Porto didn't really take any notice of it, because it said not so long ago that we'd submitted around the £12 million bid. I think Man United and Porto are around £6 million apart from their valuations, because Porto have already said that they want around 18 million for Alex Telles, but we're refusing to meet their asking price. At the first, Porto wanted in the 20 odd million pound range, so they've already lowered their asking price. Now, I know that Telles has agreed terms on a 5-year contract with Manchester United worth 70 grand a week, but no fee has yet come to an agreement. But I think we have put a few bids in for the player. And I think Alex Telles has already confirmed that he does want to leave Porto. He's got a release clause of £36 million, hasn't he? And he's into the final year of his current contract with Porto. He's enjoyed a few years now with Porto. If Porto do sell him, then they owe around 10% of the transfer fee to Galatasaray due to his sell-on clause, obviously. But before he was at Porto, he had a loan spell with Inter Milan. Before then, he was at Galatasaray. When he was younger, he played for Grêmio and Juventude. He is the age of 27, is Telles, so he's highly experienced and he's predominantly a left-back. And I said it's very beneficial if Manchester United can get a left-back in, because we've got two predominant left-backs in the team at the moment, and that's Luke Shaw, he's our first-choice left-back, and Brandon Williams, he's our backup left-back. And the other week, Alex Telles was hoping that his transfer to Manchester United would have been completed. So, yeah, there's been so many players on our agenda. But I think the key areas where Manchester United have got to strengthen up, I think, we need a right winger. We obviously need a left-back. We need a centre-half in, despite the fact that we have got 7 centre-halves in our team. We need someone to go alongside Harry Maguire, but I think we're planning to get a centre-half next summer instead. But we've missed out on a lot of our targets under Solsjkaers, haven't we? We missed out on Sergio Reguilon. He went to Tottenham. We missed out on Bale. He went back to Tottenham. We missed out on Jack Grealish because he signed a 5-year deal quite a few weeks ago now with Aston Villa. Back in January, we missed out on Erling Haaland. We also missed out on Jude Bellingham. So it's coming from bad to worse for Manchester United. It really, really is. And, there's teams around us that have done very good recruitment. You've got Liverpool who've made signings. Chelsea, they've made signings. Arsenal have made a couple of signings. City, they've made a few signings. Even Leeds United, they've made good signings. Tottenham, they've made good signings. Everton, they're another team that have made some good signings as well. So this is another one of my element of concerns. This summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager, isn't it? And at the football club so far, he has spent around £240 million. Last summer he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. January he brought Bruno Fernandes in and he brought Odi Nagalo in on loan. And obviously brought Donny van der Beek in this summer transfer window. He's also brought a few academy players into the football club. But Solsjkaers definitely not to blame for the lack of transfer activity, because he's publicly admitted that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window. And I did say, didn't I, I think we need at least 2, maybe 3 more signings if we had to mount any title challenge up. Offloading players has proven to be difficult for Manchester United as well. Not only signing players hasn't been difficult for us. Now, it did say, we could sell up to 7 players before the window shuts this Monday. I think it's very imperative that we do sell players, because obviously if we do, we'll generate money and it'll help us with our rebuilding process. And quite frankly, there's still deadwood at the football club. Now, I think we're looking to get rid of all of that. We get rid of players on permanent deals rather than letting them go out on loan. This is what Fabrizio Romano has confirmed. Now, one of the players we're looking to get rid of, and that's obviously Chris Smalling. I think he's going to be going to Roma, is Chris Smalling, because David Ornstein from The Athletic recently said that Roma are close to signing Smalling permanently. Roma preparing to put a new bid in of around 13.5 million. I think is the add-ons included. I think this new offer almost meets our demands. Roma have already put one offer in of around 12 million, but this had been turned down. We want around 18 million for Smalling. Smalling was out on loan with Roma last season, where I thought he was a revelation. Newcastle have even been interested in Smalling. I think Inter Milan were going to make a move for him if they can sell Milan Skriniar. Smalling's been part of the club for several years. He's been at Manchester United now for a good, 9 or 10 years. He has been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Phil Jones, he's another player we're looking to offload. I heard, is it Newcastle are interested in Phil Jones? We'd probably demand from 10 to 15 million pounds for Phil Jones. I think this is Phil Jones' 10th season at Man United. He has been with us since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We did get him from Blackburn, didn't we, for just over £16 million. Phil Jones is currently injured at the moment. Sustained a few injuries as a Man United player. Marcus Rojo, he's another player that we're looking to offload. He's never really established himself as a first-team regular, Rojo, since his arrival. We paid, around £16 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in 2014. So Rojo's been at the club now a good 5.5 years. His current contract with us expires next year, but don't forget last season he was out on loan with Estudiantes, was Rojo. Diego Dalot, we're also looking to get rid of him, because he obviously isn't good enough to represent Manchester United. Diego Dalot's found game time very difficult at the club. Did recently play against Brighton, did Diego Dalot, and that was his first appearance of this season. Don't forget the first part of last season, Dalot had back-to-back injuries. Now, Dalot's been at the club a couple of years. We got him in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid £19 million for him from Porto, didn't we? And, Dalot's still got a contract with us until 2023. Now, last time I read up, it said that AC Milan were interested in getting Dalot on loan. And it included an option to buy. But I think we want to get rid of him permanently. Everton, PSG and Barcelona have been in for Dalot before. Because obviously he can't get in the team because you've got Bissaka, that's our first choice right back, and now Foster Mensah's our backup right back, isn't there? So there you go. Sergio Romero, he's obviously open to leaving the football club. Sergio Romero's our third choice goalkeeper because Dean Henderson returned not so long ago. And Romero's not going to want to stay at Man United as third choice goalkeeper. Romero has enjoyed around 5 years with the club. We got him on a free from San Pandora back in 2015. He's always been our backup goalkeeper, obviously. Romero's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Lingard. He's another player we've been looking to get rid of. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say he wants Lingard to stay at the club. Lingard's obviously been part of the club for several years. But I heard that Lingard's representatives have been talking with club teams in England. And it says the other week that Tottenham were interested in Lingard, and Tottenham were preparing to put around the £30 million bid in, and Jose Mourinho's keen on a reunion with the player. There's obviously no rumours of Daniel James leaving the football club. Now, if we do get a winner in, then I think we will allow Daniel James to go. It's Leeds United that have inquired about getting Daniel James. It said the other week that Leeds were preparing to put around the £12 million bid in. Leeds are obviously not inquiring about getting him on loan as well. Don't forget, back in January 2019, Daniel James was very close to joining Leeds United. Everything had been agreed, but Swansea had pulled out of the deal right at the final hurdle. We got Daniel James last June, didn't we? Last year. We got him for £18 million. James signed a 5-year deal with Man United, and there's also an option of a further year. But to be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of players since he got recommended into Manchester United. The most recent player to leave was Andres Pereira. He went out on loan to Lazio. We've seen the likes of Lukaku and Sanchez leave. I think we made a mistake getting rid of Lukaku, but we made the right decision getting rid of Sanchez. We also let Herrera go. That was a mistake because I thought Herrera was a good player for Man United. We also let Fellaini go. He was the first player to leave under the Solskjaer era. He left in January 2019. Darmian, he left. Valencia left. Young left. Angel Gomez left. We've loaned a few players out. Don't forget we loaned Sahith Chon out. We also loaned Dylan Levitt out. I think we loaned Joe Pereira out again for another season. Now, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, this is his second full season at Manchester United. And I said, this is a big season for him because he knows that he's got to exceed his expectations if he is to remain Manchester United manager. Now, I think what will represent a good season for us, if we can finish in the top 4, we can win a trophy, that will be good. And then Solskjaer will keep his job as Manchester United manager. If we wasn't to finish in the top 4 and we wasn't to win a trophy, then he could possibly get sacked, like Roy Keane was recently saying. Now, I think we've played 4 games so far this season. Obviously, in all competitions, we've only played 2 league games. We lost our opening game against Crystal Palace by 3-1. And that was our worst defeat on an opening day of a Premier League season since 1995. But since that Palace loss, we've bounced back, to be fair, because we had that win against Luton in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup, won 3-0. Then we had the win against Brighton in the league, 3-2. We was lucky to win that game, but we still got the win. And then we recently beat Brighton by 3-0 in the Carabao Cup 4th round. But obviously, that game in the Cup was totally contrast to the League One, obviously. So we have bounced back, to be fair. And our next league game is Tottenham. The preview will be coming up for that game later on today. This is our first tough game, is the Tottenham one. This is going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 3rd meeting with Jose Mourinho as Manchester United manager. Solskjaer's already overcome Jose Mourinho once because last season we beaten Tottenham at Old Trafford 2-1. It was 1-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, wasn't it? And Jose Mourinho will be reuniting with Manchester United, obviously. Jose Mourinho did endure 2.5 years at the football club. He won the Europa League and the League Cup with us in his first season. He also got a second in his first season, but I give you the main explanations why his tenure at Man United didn't work out is because obviously he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players. And the board just weren't backing the signings that I wanted to recommend in, obviously. Mourinho recommended 11 players into Manchester United, obviously. But Tottenham have got some good players, and they've made some good signings, haven't they? Obviously in the window, they brought the likes of Holberg in, Joe Hart on a free, Kyle Walker-Peters, Doherty, Reguilon. Obviously brought Gareth Bale back. There's other signings Jose Mourinho's made, and that was Jedson Fernandez, Steven Bergwijn, Giovanni Lo Celso, Ryan Sessegnon. So they've done good recruitment. You can say probably Tottenham made a mistake by getting rid of Christian Eriksen. He went to Inter Milan in January. Christian Eriksen endured 7 years as a Tottenham player, don't forget. Danny Rose was out on loan with Newcastle last season, but now he's back to Tottenham. Tanguy Ndombele, who's obviously Tottenham's most expensive signing. He's been good for them. They've got a good attack of Tottenham. They've obviously got Human Son, Harry Kane, Lucas Moura. I do like Dele Alli a lot. So this one will be a tough game. But really, really am looking forward to it. But to be fair, last season, our record against the top 6 sides was very, very good, because last season, we had beaten Man City like 3 times, we've beaten Chelsea 3 times. We got a draw out of Liverpool. We beat, obviously, Leicester last season. Like I said, we beat Tottenham last season, all of that. Oh, yeah. But Solskjaer was saying prior to the start of this season that he's got a lot of confidence going on into this season from where we left off last season, because last season was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the club. And to be fair, he did exceed most of his expectations. Obviously got us qualification for the Champions League, also finished 3rd, and we progressed to 3 semi-finals. I mean, we did well, really, because you wouldn't have thought we would have exceeded any expectations last season, because at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, don't forget. But I can give you more of a perception on Solskjaer as we delve more into the season. It's too early for me to give you, much of a perception on him. But I always said we needed to give him another season. When Solskjaer got appointed in as Manchester United manager, don't forget, he was inheriting a squad that was worth £700 million before he obviously, made his signings. Because Solskjaer's inheriting a lot of players here from the Jose Mourinho era, still a few players here from the Van Gaal era, still one player here from the Moyes era, and still a few players here from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. But I think, we are at least 3 to 4 years off from winning the Premier League title. Obviously, I want us to win the Premier League again, and I presume we will at some point, maybe not under Solskjaer. We have not won the Premier League since 2013, so last time won it was in Sir Alex Ferguson's last season, wasn't it? But I presume there's still some Manchester United fans that don't think Ollie's the right man. And he isn't the foreseeable future. Because let's be honest, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't got a proven pedigree behind him, let's be honest. There's positives to take from his tenure. Like I've mentioned, he's made some good signings. He's got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. He's promoted the youth well. We've had good periods under him. He did well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. Don't forget, we went on a 19-game unbeaten run. We went on a 14-game unbeaten run in the league. Another good thing, Solskjaer's won around 52 games as Manchester United manager. I think out of the 94 he has managed. There's players that have also improved under him, but there's still improvements needed at the club. There really, really, certain players have still got to improve. Solskjaer's got to improve his decision making, because in a lot of games he has been tactically naive. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.